Eu acredito que vamos estar online. Yep, we are online now. So guys, good evening. I hope life is treating you well. And I'm glad to see you again because we have like a short break because an emergency of mine. I had a little surgery some weeks ago, but I am almost 100% recovered. So welcome again to our English session. Today we'll be tackling about daily idioms discussion. We know that we use them in our daily basis in our mother tongue, in Portuguese or in Spanish, and we need to learn them in English as well because they are important to perhaps express something that is more natives, perhaps more native, and when we have the chance to talk with native speakers. Okay, so since we have new members today, I believe that it is worthwhile to do the self presentation. That is the question number 0. So I'm going to start with Hubia. Hubia, could you please start with your with your self presentation, please?
Yes. Hello, guys. I'm Rubia. I live in Florianopolis and I'm studying about data analysis. I'm doing analysis, system analysis and development college. And I like to practice ballet. I like to watch K-dramas and to listen to K-pop music too.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your presentation. Now it's your turn, Lucas. Go ahead.
Sure. Good evening. I'm Lucas. I'm 37 years old. Seven? No, 16. I'm 64. Uh, I am a pharmacist, and I like to hang out with my friends, with my family. I like to watch movies, series, and I like to watch football too. And that's it. And I think it's enough.
Thank you so much, Lucas. And now, Fernanda, please go ahead and introduce yourself to us.
Hello guys, I'm Fernanda. I live in São Paulo. I work as a Spanish teacher, and when I have some free time, I like to practice languages and also spend time with my family and watch TV shows. That's it. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Fer. And now it's Adriana's time. Adriana, are you there? Can you hear me?
Eu acho que tá certo agora.
Agora foi.
Agora foi sim.
Aham.
Ok. Meu nome, né?
Uhum.
Ok. My name is Adriana. I am from Bolívia, Santa Cruz. Eu acho que I love Paraná. E o que mais? O que eu sou?
Uhum.
Tá. Eu não sei. Como é que diz? Não sei.
Ah, I think that it's enough. It's okay, no problem at all. So don't worry about it. So thank you so much for your presentation, Adriana. It's really nice to have you here. It's really cool to have one Bolivian participating here on these immersions or these sessions. You are the second one, as a matter of fact, because Ebenezer is Bolivian as well, but he is not here. So welcome to our English session, and I hope you will practice more as well and learn as we all do as we are doing as we all are doing here. So, and the last but not the least, me. Hello, guys. Again, my name is Christian Jimenez. I am Bolivian as well. I am from Bolivia. However, I live here in Curitiba, Paraná. I work as a software developer. So that's why I am here in Brazil because of my job. I am married. I am 38 years old. I love football when I have the chance. I really love playing football. Let me see what else. I believe that's it. I believe it's a little bit about me. And so let's move on to the today's questions. So as I already said, we are gonna talk about daily idioms discussion. Okay. So let's move on to the question number one. So I'm gonna demand you, please, Fer, could you please read the first question and answer it?
Yes.
Question.
Do you often use idioms or expressions in your native language? Which ones? Here is to answer in Portuguese. Is this? If I use an expression in Portuguese or in English?
I believe it can be in both. If you have
Both.
some
Okay.
examples in Portuguese, it's okay, and in English as well.
Mm, in Portuguese, I think I use a lot né in the end of the phrases, and in English, I I don't use so much expressions. I think I need to improve this. In the vocabulary session, I learned a lot of expressions because I don't use a lot. So it's something that I need to improve for English.
Thank you so much. I completely agree that it's difficult to include expressions, even new words, when we are learning a new language. So let's see what Jubia says. Jubia, what do you think about it?
I in Portuguese, sometimes when I'm speaking with my friends, I say something like "Divo." It's something that I say when they do something that I think it is incredible. It's amazing what they did. So I use this expression "divo," and I we transform an adjective into a verb. And this sometimes we do uh, these things. I don't know if in English people usually do the transform of the words. And I don't I don't use expressions in English,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to learn how to use.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. It's the first time that I hear about the expression that you just used in Portuguese. So thanks so much for sharing. What about you, Lucas? Do you usually use expressions in Portuguese? And what about English?
That's good. Yes, I normally in Portuguese when something goes wrong, I say deu ruim, and I don't. Or I like to say eu ficar de boa também like to use. And in English, I don't know, maybe when something is easy, I say it's a easy peasy piece of cake. Yes, I think that's it. I don't remember other expression that I use in English. I break the ice, and we say in Portuguese too. Is some expression that is used in both language. That's it.
Thank you so much. I'm not sure if Adriana is there. Adriana, are you there? Uh, uh, I believe that she is not there. So I'm gonna leverage this time to share my opinion. I I am trying to include expression in English when I speak. Even here in the sessions, there is a common expression that I normally use, that it's bring something to the table. It's to bring one idea to the reunion. So I say, oh, thank you so much for bringing that to the table. So it's a one that I normally use. Another one, let me see, in my daily basis, easy peasy as well, or piece of cake. And there are some that I try to include as well. For example, life is not always sunrises and rainbows. That's like I'm not. I don't know how to explain that, but it's a one that I really love using when I have the chance. In Portuguese, I use. Quebrar as pernas. That's a good expression that when someone asks me something so difficult, so I use that expression normally, and it's really cool to know about Brazilian expressions. And as I said, there are so many different around Brazil in in every single city or in every single state. You will find new expressions. Let me see if Adriana is there. Adriana, are you there? I don't think so. So let's move on to the question number two. I gonna ask her here internally or in direct message if she's there. Okay. So, Jubia, could you please read the second question and answer it, please?
Yes. Why do you think people use idioms in daily conversations? I think they use those expressions to to have a conversation, and when we are having a conversation, it's not always so simple to explain what we are uh, thinking. And when we use those expressions, I think the expression can be used to explain a better way what we are thinking. And it's not always on our idiom we have a word to explain what we are trying to say. So I think that's why we use it.
That's very interesting because there are some expressions that we cannot explain them because it has its own meaning, and people perhaps native from Brazil or native from Bolivia, a common expression cannot be explained, but you understand it. It's very interesting. So thank you so much for sharing, Jubia. What do you think about it, Lucas?
Normally, I think that people normally like to use the expression in a daily conversation because it make the conversation, uh, how can I say, with more cultural identified. So we are talking Portuguese, and when we use some expression in Portuguese, it become more, uh, how can I say, more Brazilian. I don't know. And sometimes when we need to say something in Portuguese or in English, it is hard to say formal, to explain something formal, and it become easier to use some expression informal
Mm-hmm.
to explain something. So that's it, and I think it's easy to get the feeling or what the person want to say, talking in expression or idioms.
Hmm. Another thing, thank you so much for sharing, Lucas. And something that came to my mind is that I believe that we use more expression when we feel like in a familiar environment. It's like when we are with friends or with family, it's easier to use them. I believe that there are expression that just your family understand as well. It's something very interesting as well. In my case, yeah, we have some ways that we call things or when we call people, just in my family. For example, the size of the bread that it's. I believe that here in Brazil you say bundinha. I'm not sure is the way that you say it. In my case, in my home, my father called it the mother-in-law, a sogra, and if you ask him why, he says because nobody wants it. So in my home, we call it that part of the bread the mother-in-law. So, Fernanda, what do you think about it?
In my opinion, we use these expressions to like simplify the things that we want to say in the conversations. And as we listen, people using the expressions, it becomes more natural for us to use it. So, in my opinion, we use just to simplify the communication.
Yeah, that's a good one. To simplify the communication, when something is a little bit abstract or difficult to explain, you can summarize it with just one expression. It's a good way to use them as well. Thanks so much for sharing, Fernanda. Adriana, we are in the question number 2. Estamos respondiendo a pregunta número 2. Do you have your answer for this question? Está mutada.
Só um instante.
Ok.
Quais são os idiomas que eu falo?
Ah, por que
Isso?
você, por que você pensa que as pessoas utilizam idiomas ou expressões nas conversações diárias?
Oi?
Pergunta número 2.
Ok. A dois é, no caso, quantos idiomas eu converso?
O tipo de expressões idiomáticas que você utiliza no seu dia a dia. Ou por que as pessoas utilizam expressões idiomáticas nas conversações?
Por que que as pessoas usam expressões,
Uhum.
como assim? Expressões idiomáticas?
Expressões tipo quebrar as pernas, a bruxa está solta.
Ah, gírias.
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 Aham, gírias. Aham.
Yes.
Ah, gírias. Bom, eu acho que as pessoas usam as gírias pelas culturas,
Uhum,
pelas diferenças de culturas e contexto também social que as pessoas que elas crescem. Por exemplo,
uhum,
pessoas de situação mais vulnerável ou de baixa classe social se usa uma linguagem não tão formulada,
uhum,
né? Então, acho que passa de cultura e de geração.
uhum,
Por isso que se mantém até hoje.
uhum. That's it. Thank you so much for sharing, Adriana. And yeah, it's a good point. There are even expression or idioms that are created for different economic status. I wanna say, and it can be like a heritage from generations, as Adriana said. So it's something that happens normally as well. Thank you so much for sharing, Adriana. So let's move on to the question number 3, and it's your turn, Lucas. Could you please read the third question and answer it?
Yes. Are English expressions easy or difficult to understand? And why? I think some expressions in English difficult to understand because we don't live in that country.
Mm-hmm.
So there are so many expressions that I don't know because it's not literal. So I need to live in there to understand why that makes sense. At the same time, in Portuguese, you need to live here to understand why some expressions exist and what is the reason. For example, Ruga said about diva, diva, aqui. And if some person comes to Brazil and the first time that the person uh, hear it, I think it's a little hard to understand
Mm-hmm.
why that word, what it means the word. But who live in Brazil, it's easy because you can see on cell phone, Instagram, and TikTok. And I think that's it. Of course, there are some expressions easy to understand because it is literal, like break the ice is quebrar o gelo, but there are others it's hard to understand.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more with you. Thank you so much for your example. And it's normal, as you said, even here in Brazil, for people who come to Brazil and we don't know about the culture or perhaps some parts of the Brazilian history, we cannot catch those expressions because of that. And yeah, I completely agree that there are some that are literal and others in English you need to know perhaps the meaning. Thank you so much for sharing, Lucas. Fernanda, what do you think about it?
Mm, Normally, when I listen to new expressions, is on they are on TV shows. So normally I understand by the context. But if the person say just the expression, it's possible that I do not understand. So I think when it's in a context, it's okay for me to understand, but it's not. Depending on the expression, it's difficult for me. Like it's not something like okay. For example, here expression that is on the vocabulary, burn the midnight oil. For me, it's not like something okay. I will work a lot. I work late. For me, it's not so easy to understand. But if some person is in this context and say this expression, okay, I will get it. So it depends.
Thank you so much, Jay, and thanks so much for bringing those examples to the table. Uh, as I was studying for like the IELTS test, I had to learn a lot of expression, and I realized that there are a lot of expressions using chickens in English. One is "don't count your chicken." It's like don't take it for granted. And another one is don't put all of your eggs in the same basket. It's like don't invest in the same place. It's kind of difficult to get the meaning. So thanks so much, Fer. Adriana, what do you think about it? The question number 3. Are English expressions easier or difficult to understand, and why? Question number 3.
Deixa eu entender a pergunta.
Mm-hmm,
Em inglês, as
mm-hmm.
quais são as dificuldades na universidade?
And as
Não,
dificuldades na hora de entender as gírias em inglês. E por quê?
tá. Deixa eu entender novamente.
Uhum.
Porque, como que a gente lida com as dificuldades das gírias na faculdade?
Não, seria por que por que são as gírias em inglês difíceis de entender? Tipo, qual é a dificuldade de entender elas? Quando você está estudando, quando você escuta uma na TV, por que
Hum,
você pensa que é difícil?
por que que é difícil?
Uhum,
Porque são linguagens que não são usadas na teoria,
uhum,
nas disciplinas, nos cursos de uma faculdade.
uhum,
Então, as gírias, elas expressam, acredito que, no meu ponto de vista, muitas coisas,
uhum,
diversos sinônimos, uma palavra em uma gíria. Agora, na faculdade, você não vai conseguir expressar essa palavra para algo objetivo.
uhum,
Então, se torna algo diferente ou até dificultoso, porque não é um termo também que você irá utilizar dentro de uma matéria,
uhum,
dentro de um conteúdo,
uhum,
para poder você chegar até o objetivo final, que é transmitir essa mensagem para uma pessoa.
uhum. Yeah, that's it. Thanks so much, Adriana, for sharing your knowledge, your insight, and I agree with you. As everybody said, the expressions there are sometimes, or most of the time, they are not literal. So you have to know what is behind it, like the meaning, in order to understand it. Why that person on a specific person use an expression in a specific context. So that's it. Thank you so much for sharing, Adriana. And it's your turn, Julia. What do you think? Or are English expression easy or difficult to understand, and why? Question number three.
I think it, it's sometimes easy and sometimes difficult. It depends. I agree with Fair. It depends of the context. And to talk the expression in English, it's hard to me for me because we when we are trying to speak in English, we try to be formal, and it's not easy to be informal when you are not talking your native language.
Mhm,
And I'm not a very extrovert person, so it's not easy. Twice, twice when you are not so talkable person.
That's really true. When you are not that talkative, it's kind of difficult to express those kind of expressions when you are in social reunions or in social events. It's not that easy because if you try to use like an expression and you get it wrong, or you pronounce just one word, all of the meaning will be lost. So it's kind of difficult to use them. Something that I wanted to say about expressions here in Brazil is that you have a lot of expression using the football, and I've learned a lot of them, like show the bola, bola para frente, baixa a bola. I believe that all of them are related to football. Are there? Okay, okay,
Yes,
Yes.
okay.
it is.
Yeah, okay. It's good to know it. So let's move on to the question number four. Okay, so it's your turn, Adriana. Could you please read the question number four? Pode ler a pergunta número 4 e responder?
Do you think idioms make a language more interesting?
Uhum.
Ok, deixa eu entender a pergunta. Do you think idioms make... Por que que... Não sei. Por que que os idiomas...
A pergunta
Por que...
seria a seguinte: você pensa que as gírias fazem uma linguagem mais interessante e explica por quê. Ou a comunicação mais interessante.
Eu acho que, no meu ponto de vista e no costume que eu tenho, eu acho que não seria algo interessante. Interessante seria quando ela te traz, para mim, é, algo mais com significado, algo mais abrangente, algo que tenha mais sentido. As gírias, eu acho que seria interessante quando se torna algo engraçado, quando você quer seguir uma linguagem de chistoso, como fala assim em espanhol, né? Broma, como se fosse algo engraçado, mais ou menos isso. Eu acho que seria interessante quando você quer, quer fazer risadas, mas eu acho que as gírias não se tornam algo tão interessante quando você quer falar de um assunto tão sério. Um assunto que, por exemplo, uma conversação entre pai e filho, ou entre família, e tem uma gíria, eu acho que tem um erro de comunicação, né? Você não consegue transmitir com a intensidade com o verdadeiro significado. Então, seria interessante apenas uma conversa ali entre risadas, entre, como se fala, jogar papo fora, vamos dizer assim. Isso.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights, and I agree with you. There are the different moments that you can use an expression or an idiom, and you put a good example that when you are talking with your children, sometimes if the conversation is serious, it's kind of impossible to include a expression or an idiom in that context. And in the say, another good example is when you are talking with your boss and it's a serious conversation. It's not a good place or a good moment to use an expression, perhaps. Thank you so much for sharing, Adriana. Lucas, what do you think about it?
And when you're talking with someone that you know, a friend, that's maybe, yes, I think it's really interesting. It's good. But I don't know when we are learning English or other language to our work. I think it's become a little bit dangerous because if we learn the idiom and when we speak this in um, formal ambient, I think it could be not so good. And so I think we need to take care about it. But when we are talking with our friends, it's amazing to use some expressions. And I like to learn new expressions in English and in Spanish because it's really good to talk with some friends using this expression.
Yeah, I believe that it makes it a little bit funnier in my from my view when you are with friends and sharing your expressions. It makes it like um, your conversation a little bit more dynamic, in my opinion. Thank you so much, Lucas, for sharing. Jubia, what do you think about it?
I think it turns a language more interesting when you are living the experience of use your idiom like you are living in a country that uh, you are knowing new people, you are doing uh, internship. I don't know, in your other country. When you are doing those things, I think it's important to
know to know how to use the expressions of the place you are interested to get closer to the people who lives there.
Yeah, I believe that it can help you with integration if you use them properly. Obviously, as we said before, and you just mentioned, it's important to use them, but when you use them right, otherwise it can be something kind of strange if you say something like mispronounce something, and or if you use them in a in not in the right context, because there are some expressions that you can just use in a specific time. And thank you so much, Jubia. And now it's Fernanda's time. What do you think about it? Do you think idioms make a language more interesting, and explain why?
Yes, I think it makes more interesting because we have different ways to say an idea, and here in Brazil we have like a different expressions depending on the region that you are, and I think this is also really interesting. That and it happens here in other countries too. So it's interesting, like see how we can express one idea in different expressions.
Thank you so much for sharing, Fer. And I have a random question here that it is not on our list, and it's about one expression or one idiom that you love using in a different language or in a different country. So, since Fernando and Lucas went to Argentina, perhaps you can share one expression that you learned them, or Juby as well, if you have an expression from Korea or even here in Brazil or from the United States, it's okay. So I want to start with this one, okay? One expression that makes me like laugh every single time that I hear it here in Brazil because it's pretty interesting. It's uma coisa, outra coisa. So, acho que é essa expressão, né? I believe that that is the expression. So that's like it doesn't have like a sense for me, but it's used a lot here in Brazil. So, Fer, what about you? Do you have an expression that you love using in Spanish?
Mm, I cannot think it now, but there in Argentina I heard a lot capaz as something like maybe.
Uh-huh. Capaz, maybe.
Yes. This one that I remembered now, but um, I don't know.
Thanks so much. And Julia, what about you? One expression that you like to use, perhaps in Portuguese, in English, or in another language that you know?
Um, I I really don't use many expressions, but I really like to use Devo with my close friends because I like to express how amazing they are. And here in my city, they have some expressions like abobado.
Abobado.
When, when you say this when um, uh, a kid, I don't know, a man, when they act like um, and funny idiot.
Okay. Got
Something
it.
like that.
Got
They
it.
use abobado here
Abobado.
in Florianópolis.
We have something similar in Spanish. We use atontado. At
Mm,
least in my city, we use that word. That word.
yes, it's similar. Huh?
It's similar. Thank you so much, Jubia. Lucas, what about you?
Me acuerdo que
Go
I
ahead.
remember, yeah,
Está en
And
el
sí, and in Argentina, I remember that the people said a lot of hate. Por ejemplo, eres bueno, eres bonito. Uh, you are, I remember too that the people said when we have some friends there and when we arrive at a bar or a restaurant and something as yo, how is the place? And the other said, oh, está bueno, está lindo, está joya. And, wait, I got a problem with
No problem at
my
all.
mind now.
You can do it.
Yes, but that's it. The people there said something like this, and I enjoy when we went to a match. We watched a match at a stadium, and the people there said, "No, nosotros compramos este lugar." Creo que I think it's a expression to I don't know how to say torcida in fans, but culpar também. Culpar es eso. Yo tuve una dificultad con los idiomas.
No problem
Seguimos.
at all.
Sí.
No problem at all. Yeah, when Argentinian, even in Bolivia, we use that expression. Nosotros compramos o ocupamos ese lugar. When we said we got the tickets for that place, and Argentinians they use a lot of y bueno, y bueno, y bueno, a lot of y bueno when they express themselves. Thanks so much, Lucas, for sharing. And now it's your turn, Adriana. A pergunta seria se você poderia compartilhar alguma gíria, uma expressão que você gosta de utilizar. Pode ser em espanhol, inglês ou português.
Ok. Bom, como moro há mais de 10 anos no Brasil, estou acostumada mais com a linguagem portuguesa mesmo. É o que mais eu utilizo. Mas algo que é, não uso muito constante, mas forçar um pouquinho a mente aqui, mas é, tipo, acho que eu não falo muita gíria, mas eu falo muito expressão. Como eu moro na região, tipo, do sul, uma pessoa, ela está falando algo, uma novidade. E aí tem muito aquele bar, sabe? Oxê. Não, mas não é não é uma gíria. Mas algo que eu gosto, às vezes, de expressar seria mais, tipo, show de bola, algo legal, algo, tipo, bacana. Mais ou menos isso, mas no meu cotidiano não é algo que está constantemente. Eu acho que é isso. Não tem muitas expressões de gíria.
Ok. There is no problem, but
Nunca.
show the ball is a good one. I believe that everybody who
É,
comes to Brazil needs to know at least that one. Show the ball. Thank you so much, Adriana.
qualquer coisa, tipo, bom, é isso, mais
Show.
ou menos isso, só.
Uh-huh. Thanks so much, Adriana, for sharing. And another one that I wanted to share with you in Spanish that we use in Bolivia is a lo pasado pisado. It's like the past doesn't matter anymore. So look ahead. It's like bola para frente, lo pasado pisado. That's it. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing. We have enough time to tackle one more question. So I'm gonna pick the last one, and it's gonna be the question number 12. Okay, so I'm gonna read this one. Do movies, music, or social media help people learn expressions, and how? Julio, what do you think about it? Question number 12.
I think that Yes, uh, entertainment really help people to learn new expressions. It's not so easy to talk with a native of the language that you want to learn. So when you are at social media or watching movies, listening to music, is it's more easy. And I think you you are when you are watching something, it's easy to understanding the meaning of the expression when you are seeing the listen to the context. It's easier. Besides, when you are talking to someone, I think it's more didactic when you are using those instruments to learn new expressions.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. In entertainment, like movies, music, or social media, you are gonna find a lot of expressions. Uh, as a matter of fact, there are a lot of songs that they are even wrong written, and it is in purpose just to follow the rhythm. So for someone who is learning English, I wouldn't recommend a song or movies with a lot of expression because it's gonna be so hard. So I believe that it's depend on your level or what you wanna learn. So, but if someone is learning English, I wouldn't recommend music or movies to learn it. So thank you so much for sharing, Juvia. Now it's your turn, Fernanda. What do you think about it? Question number 12.
Yes, I think it's really possible, like learning new expressions by songs that you listen, also movies, social media, memes on internet. um, I remember a word that I learned from a song that is cheating. I think it was 2019. A long time ago, I heard a song called Cheating on You, and I didn't know what was cheating. And I learned by this song. So it's really possible to learn new expressions, new words by songs and movies, TV shows.
Thank you so much for sharing. And something I wanted to share as well is that I learned a lot of Brazilian expressions from soap operas, that it's novelas. So yeah, I learned a lot of them from them. Thank you so much for sharing, Fair. And Lucas, it's your turn. Question number 12.
Yes, there are a lot of expressions from movies and music. I remember some expressions from movies like I will be back and if my forest be with you, just keep swimming. And that is a lot of expressions that I wanted that I hear from movies and it's used in our daily. And that's it. I think it is a good way to study and to get new expressions and to learn.
Thank you so much again for sharing and sharing your knowledge with us. And now it's your turn, Adriana. The question number 12. I want to translate it for you, okay? Se as... Ah, eu esqueci a palavra em português. Ah, se as, se as músicas, as redes sociais e movie. How can I say movie in Portuguese? I forgot.
Filmes.
Filmes. Ok, se os filmes, músicas e social media ajudam as pessoas a aprender expressões ou gírias. E como?
Com certeza. Eu acho que a maior transmissão de linguagem não correta, ela está na mídia mesmo, porque é o material que nós usamos e que está mais presente nas pessoas, de
Uhum,
comunicação imediata.
uhum,
Então, o que hoje nós vemos que ela tem se evoluído muito, ela tem chegado tão facilmente nas crianças, em crianças ainda que não são nem alfabetizadas.
uhum,
Então, veja de que não precisa você sair fora de casa para você ouvir como tipos de linguagem, porque elas estão inseridas dentro dos lares.
uhum,
E elas são, sim, transmitidas em desenhos, aquilo que a família alimentar, né? Então, se ela assiste em excesso muitos filmes, então será. Nos filmes depende também da categoria, de que tipo de filme, também isso fala muito, né? Por
uhum,
exemplo, se você assistir filme somente de, de comédia, então você vai ter muita linguagem assim.
uhum,
Então, aquilo que alimenta, né? Então,
uhum,
aquilo que está alimentado em excesso e aquilo que vai ser inserido dentro da linguagem daquela família, daquela pessoa e daquela construção de linguagem daquela criança,
uhum.
né?
Yeah.
E é isso.
Thank you so much, and I couldn't agree more with you. As a matter of fact, the way that you express yourself is reflected from the resources of what you do. For example, what you read, the kind of movie that you watch, the kind of series that you watch. It's the same thing that you are going to express yourself if you consume that kind of resources. And that's it. I believe that everybody answered the question number 12. We run out of time now, so it's the moment that we are going to share our experience here in our English session. So it's good to know how it was for you and if you learned something new. So it's the moment that we are going to do that, okay? So, Fer, I'm going to start with you. How was it for you, and if you learned something new this night?
I enjoyed the conversation and I learned expressions from the useful vocabulary that I read before the conversation. For example, the expression that I mentioned, burn the midnight oil. Oh my god, burn the midnight oil. That is work late.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Per, for sharing as well your feedback. It's good to know it in order to improve our session as well. Lucas, how was this session for you, and if you learned something new?
This conversation is really good because it's a good way to learn the expressions from everybody here. And I enjoy because you put some expressions in the document that you sent you. And it's really good to know this because, as I said, I like to use easy peasy or break the ice. And it's really good to read new expressions to learn and to use.
Thank you so much, Lucas, for have participated and as well for sharing your feedback. It's good to know it in order to improve our sessions. Jubia, how was it for you, and if you learned something new this session?
It was good to remember these expressions in English and how to explain our expressions in Portuguese too. That it's something that in some context we could use to explain to a person who speaks English, for as example, our expressions in Portuguese. And it it was really helpful to know about expressions and the knowledge experiences of the colleagues here.
Mhm. Thank you so much for being here again, Rubia, as, every single Monday evening. And to finish this part, Adriana, estamos na parte onde nos compartilhamos a nossa experiência na sessão. Então, gostaria de saber brevemente como que foi essa primeira experiência para você e se você aprendeu alguma coisa nova, nessa noite.
Certo. É muita informação para o primeiro dia, mas uma mistura de uma mistura de muitas coisas. Mas eu achei interessante, eu consegui entender algumas palavras, inclusive de a contribuição de cada um de vocês. Eu achei interessante o diferente tipo de pensamento que um tem para com aquela visão. E isso é muito importante. Eu acho que isso fala muito sobre nós e sobre como a gente enxerga esse espaço, essa sociedade, como é que a gente enxerga esse conteúdo. Então, achei muito bacana. Gostei muito. Ouvir pessoas. Desculpa, é que eu sou estudante de psicologia, então eu gosto de ouvir.
Thank you so
É
much,
isso.
thank you so much, Adriana, for sharing your feedback as well. And something that I liked about this session is that we had a chance to listen to some Spanish, some Portuguese, and 90% of our session in English. So it was a multilingual session. That's it, guys. I wish you a good night, and I hope to see you the next Monday. Have a great week, and that's it. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Good night.